Ofgem have written a letter and published it on their website about their future consultation on an adjustment to the wholesale energy cost allowance in the price cap. So we're going to quickly discuss what that letter says, when the consultation is going to come out, and what questions they're asking. Hi everyone, I'm Richard Winter with Over 50s Money. As always, if you're interested in getting more of these energy videos and understanding what consultations Ofgem are doing, please do subscribe to the Over 50s Money YouTube channel. Thank you. So it's been a little while since we've done a consultation, and it looks like there's going to be a few coming out this month that are related to the price cap. So expect a few videos this month. This first one is going to be based on a letter that Ofgem have written and posted on their website regarding the wholesale cost allowance, in the price cap. So that's the allowance that covers the cost of the wholesale energy that energy suppliers purchase, as well as a couple of additional things like shaping imbalance costs, an uncertainty and risk allowance in there. Any other additional wholesale energy costs effectively are all captured under that one bracket. Ofgem did a request for information from suppliers earlier this year, I think it was June or July, and they intended to have this consultation live by the end of September. This letter is identifying the fact that they haven't got that live, and they're planning now to have it live by early December, late November, early December, for us to then consult on. But prior to that, they've given a sort of an overview of what they're expecting to put into the consultation, and they've asked 9 questions for stakeholders to answer. So that's you, me, the suppliers, charities, consumer groups, anyone that wants to get involved can. I'll be posting my answers next week, and I'll post another video just explaining what my answers are and why I've said them. And as always, I'll give you a link to my answer to tell you how to get in contact, and you can contact Ofgem with your answers or my answers or anything you'd like to say on the matter. The only real interesting thing in this letter so far is that it does indicate that they expect the wholesale cost allowance to go down. I say take that with a pinch of salt. So when we started on the profit allowance work, their very first letter there stated or indicated that the allowance would go down. They started the consultation because they thought that a percentage-based formula for calculating profit means higher profits during a crisis, and that would be a bad thing for consumers. We expected that to mean that they would then adjust the formula so that it came down in a crisis. And in the end, they've obviously increased energy supplier profits. So the formula that calculates energy supplier profits under the cap. So even though this does indicate that they expect wholesale costs to have been lower than what the allowance gave them, and therefore any adjustment is likely to be downwards, that doesn't necessarily mean that will be the case. And obviously the energy suppliers, when they respond to this consultation, they'll be going out there with their hearts bleeding, saying actually everything was way worse than you thought, and our costs are higher, and you haven't taken this into consideration and that into consideration, and we need more money. So it's kind of a battle against the energy suppliers on that front. But as I said, I will answer their questions and post a response next week. And you're welcome to get involved. I hope you do, because the more we consult with Ofgem, the more likely we are to get them to make appropriate changes. And just for those of you that got involved with the consultation on the profit levels, I think there was about 1,200 people that emailed Ofgem on that, and Ofgem went against our decision. As a reminder, what Ofgem said about that, when I asked them directly, I said 1,200 people said, no, don't do that. 5 suppliers said yes, and you went with the suppliers. Why was that? The answer I was given was effectively that there are different stages to the consultation process. So there's 2 reasons. So there's different stages to the consultation process, and the part that we responded to was a statutory consultation. Statutory consultation is then basically saying this is what we're going to do, and unless there's any serious evidence against it, we're not this is the plan. That's at the end of the consultation process, and that's when we got involved. Before that, they do a policy consultation, which is what this one will be for the wholesale costs, and that's where they're looking for the ideas and the inputs from everybody on how to shape the process, any changes that they're looking to make. So this is the more important stage for us to get involved, because it's where they'll actually pay attention, or where they're more likely to pay attention. On top of that, the second reason I was told is that they have their core 5 um, policies that they have to adhere to or try and stick to under parliamentary governance, and that any changes we want them to make, we should try to relate to those core targets that they have, so we can show that it's in their benefit or it's their statutory obligation to do so, which is something we didn't quite do last time. I think we did obviously tell them that it's more beneficial for suppliers and consumers to be on the same side. So we want suppliers to want lower costs so they get higher profits. We wanted a formula that gave smaller profits when they had higher costs during a crisis, so that they were working hard on our behalf to bring the cost down and their profits up simultaneously. That would have hit one of the core targets of Ofgem, but it wasn't explicitly stated so. And moreover, I think Ofgem were looking at some of their other targets which can contradict each other. For example, ensuring a stable energy market might mean giving energy suppliers more money, but ensuring best prices for consumers means giving an energy supplier less money. And Ofgem have to balance those things. So we need to try and make sure we're targeting our answers in the future to pointing out that it's best for everybody if Ofgem do things this way. So that's just an overview of what to expect from my answers. As I said, they'll be published next week. Just keep an eye out for that. As always, please like and share this video around with your friends and family, and don't forget to turn on notifications for videos so that you get notified when I post them.